So today, due diligence is the theme of this video, and due diligence is really important because many of you are asking questions in the Innovation Insider series about what do I do when I have a PCI and HIPAA and DoD, and how do I tackle these frameworks? And the major thing is they want to see due diligence, and that's over time, and that's muscle strength over time, that's health over time. It's not that I have great biceps. It's actually, no, I've got a healthy body. I've got a healthy security network. So listen to this video. It's short, and it'll give you a good idea of some of the content and some of the conversation on the last Defense Innovation Insider. Bye.
And what we want to make sure that we're looking at is managing the opinions of all those auditors. NIST has an idea. We've got DoD contractors. They've got a different set on top of NIST and beside NIST and somewhat conflicting with it. We've got others that work for the IRS. They just do their own thing kind of way out to the side since they got hacked not too many years ago. Then you got PCI, and then you got all your academic standards. And at the end of the day, what do they all mean? You know, it's a bunch of ideas, and no one sits there and says, what do we need to do first, second, third, fourth, fifth? Almost every one of those I can say when a customer comes to me and say, I just had this audit, usually from a quasi-accounting firm, right? And just had this audit, what should I do first? And I look at that, and the first thing on there is, you need a $500,000 DLP system. And we'll go in and we'll look at it and we'll say, you don't actually have a firewall. You know, you've got like a 1990s Cisco Pix with all the ports open. There's no firewall here. You need to go in stages. And so what we're going to say when we come up with a plan on how we can drive your security forward, we're going to say that DLP comes last. And if they're ready to spend that $500,000, great, because you need a lot of work before that thing will even be useful or even be able to function. But if you don't have a plan, and if you can't show you're measuring it, then if you have a government style auditor and they come in, they don't care. They're going to want to know that you did whatever that SOC audit said, or the NIST audit said, or the accounting audit firm said. But if you can show you're measuring it, we have yet to see one that doesn't say, oh, wait, you're actually trying. You're actually paying attention. Okay, let's talk about what your action plan is. That makes sense. Let's do that. And so what we find is that internally, it's very difficult to do this. One reason, because if you're an internal security officer, you work there, right? So at the end of the day, when you're going to yell at the executive staff for making exceptions for themselves, you're yelling at your boss. Doesn't generally work very well. And in a lot of organizations, that security officer works for the CIO, who works for the CFO, and is maybe a couple levels down from that C-suite, where in some cases, that's where the issues are starting when it comes to security.